Hey guys, subscribe for daily content, and if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks!
What's going on YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today I've got another short little unboxing video to share with you guys. Something new from KB Knives, and I've mentioned repeatedly that KB Knives either absolutely nails the bullseye and it's incredible and the price point is amazing, or it's not that it's bad, it's just sometimes it's just kind of lackluster. So I always, accept KB Knives because I want to see them absolutely nail it. I think, and you'll have to check with Taylor Hardness, whose website is linked at the bottom of my description, I think they actually do pretty well under HRC tests. Of course, we're going to need to see a lot more of those from everybody before we can really say if that is true consistently. But I think, if I'm not mistaken, that KB Knives have tested pretty well. So anyways, thanks to KB for sending these knives in for me to take a look at. Thanks to my patrons for supporting me. Make sure your notifications are turned on for the Metal Complex YouTube channel. We're going to go ahead and open these up. I don't know if they're the same model or not. We can, what we can do is just look at the numbers on the back here. They'll never tell you what the actual name of the knife is. So we have the KB264A in M390 and tie, and we have the KB420A. Not the same at all. Let's open 420 here real quick and see what we've got. So most of the time, I think I link to, I don't have affiliate links for KB Knives, but I think I link to White Mountain Knives. I think that's where the prices tend to be, the best for these. And I also outside of the KB Knives website, there's not a lot of retailers who carry them. But if you're going to pick them up, somewhere outside of the KB Knives website, at White Mountain Knives be pretty good. So this is not a titanium frame lock. This is not a review today, by the way. This is just an unboxing and first impressions. So we're not, I won't have all of the details for you until we do the final review, but not an exposed frame lock. So what do we have here? Okay, right off the bat, whatever this is coming around and touching my finger, which is fine. I don't mind being, tapped by things, but it is also, is this a double? How weird. Okay, so number one, you cannot push button this because this happens. You must light switch it. Number two, it's a non-locking double detent. So, for people who live in most places in the United States, it's going to be kind of pointless. Unless for whatever reason you just really like the fidget factor of a double detent. The benefit to this versus a normal slip joint, right? A slip joint is also a knife that's non-locking, is because of that second detent, you can kick that blade if you get it just right. Every knife's different. You can kick that blade back down into the closed position from the open position, which is kind of fun. It's a little different, right? But this is much more useful, in my opinion, for like legal stuff. So if you live in an area of the world where the laws were written out by people who have the equivalent brain capacity of a recently run over cantaloupe, then you might have, a restriction on locking knives, right? And if that's the case, I feel your pain, but at least there are companies out there making double detent, modern, tactical, fancy pocket, if you're into the stuff like that. There are companies out there like KB who are making knives like this that will be, it'll help scratch the itch a little bit for you. So this is Ostap Hell. Okay, Ostap Hell, and I think the box said M390. So that's neat. I don't carry double detent or non-locking knives. Number one, it is my opinion that non-locking knives, especially like slip joints, are amongst the most dangerous to the user. And this always stirs people up, especially, people from older generations who, exclusively carry still or used to carry non-locking knives. Regardless of all of those protests, one thing that every single one of those people will admit is that they cut themselves many, many times with those knives on accident and still probably do to this day. Now, that's not to say that, cutting yourself with a locking knife is not possible, but it is far, far less likely. Some of the worst cuts that I have had from childhood to now have been from non-locking knives. And it's because, surprise, surprise, They don't lock. Also, knives that are supposed to lock and don't, right? Which is why we test them on this channel. But slip joints, stuff like that, like the Victorinox style slip joints, they're good knives. They're good knives. But especially if you're switching back and forth between locking knives and knives like a Swiss Army knife, it's easy to forget or get the blade into a position where you're pushing or at a certain angle, or you pull the blade back out or whatever, right? You're pushing the tip in. I think oftentimes pushing the tip in and then enough pressure and it slips backwards. All right, that's going to happen. Obviously, with practice, you can remind yourself or train yourself to not do that as often, but you can't make it go away completely and totally. I think those knives are just always going to be the knives that injure the user during natural use. I think that's just naturally going to be the case. And that will be the case with any knife that doesn't lock, and that includes a double detent knife. So that's my opinion. I think it's fine to have a different opinion, but I think these are primarily going to be beneficial for people who are impacted by those silly laws. Let's get this one out here. The second one is the KB264A. Okay, it honestly feels like identical in weight. I think I actually do remember them messaging me about these. This is a different knife. This looks like it's a knife that is, the lock is operated by a button. As far as what type of lock it is, fingers crossed. Let's get this out of here. Go away, little disc. I think it's funny to me that, brand new, they want to protect the frame from the pocket clip when the inevitable position of the pocket clip immediately after removing that disc is that it just contacts the frame. What is the purpose of this? I guess if people are just they're going to only display it, right? Okay, so this is M390. There's your designer logo right there. We have faux bolsters, which is fine. We have sort of, some pinstripe titanium texturing. This looks like a simple plunge lock. So I do like the finish. This is a finish that I have seen on some Kubi knives and, various other, it kind of looks like silver bead blasting, and it's really nice. It's not quite, it's not bead blasting. It's not high polish. It's not, hand rubbed satin, though those lines, no, I think those are wipe lines from my shirt. It's not stonewashed, it's not satin, it's not hand satin, it's not, semi-mirror, it's not high polish, anything like that. But this, what appears to be glass blasting, could be vapor blasting, does create for this nice, shiny, sort of overcast sky appearance. And it's really nice. Kubi does a good job. On top of that, I have to admit, the button lock action here is really good. It's almost magnetically good. This is like, I always say that we and Civivi make some of the best button locks out there. Boy, the detent's nice too. Yeah, this is a top tier feeling button lock. A lot of times they feel crunchy or sloppy. It's like, reaching into a Pringles can that's full of water and pulling out a handful of soggy Pringles. That's what it feels like deploying a knife that utilizes the plunge lock as the detent itself. This is very gross. But this is pretty good. Like, it's nice and clicky. Yeah, okay. But it is a plunge lock, and we do have 16, 17 quadrillion jillion of them. So unless this product is like significantly less expensive than a general competition, right? Chinese high-end production knife, titanium M390 with this general fit and finish. Usually the price comes in at between $190 and $210. Like, that's the competitive end of it. So if it is there or under, then it might be, reason enough for some people to pick this up. Outside of that, it's like, why are we adding another button lock knife to the same exact competitive price pool that has been flooded? Like, it's so flooded. Biblically, like, Noah, get the animals flooded for, I don't know, like 4 years, right? Sometimes, I know these companies probably release products just to release products, right? You got to have a flow. Like nowadays, a lot of these, not all companies operate this way, but a lot of these companies are, we got to release 8 new knives this next month or 4 new knives this next month, right? And so they have like X amount that they're going to release, and then 1 or 2 will be a higher effort thing. Now, this is a collaboration. So this is something that was created by a knife designer or a custom knife maker, and there's a production version of it, right? So this isn't necessarily in line with what I'm talking about. I'm talking about more of their in-house stuff. So perhaps fans of this designer or this maker's work, like that's who the target audience is. And maybe this gentleman, lady or gentleman, whoever designed this, just really, really likes plunge locks, right? And I think that's fine. And if enough people are interested, if the price is good enough and they sell, then great, right? But from my perspective, it's like we're adding another, it's hardly fair to say because, I mean, my own design is just another titanium frame lock. I mean, I know we have the Vertilock version, but my original design was you could reduce it to just another titanium frame lock. So there's a butt for every seat. I realized I have to change that to there's a knife for every hand, which makes it sound like you're going to put the knife through the hand. There's a knife for every pocket. But my brain scrambled for a moment, and I mixed them up, and I almost said there's a knife for every butt. Not what I wanted to say there. Okay, these are fine. I don't know, I'm not sure that I'll review maybe this. Let me learn a little bit more about this. If this ends up being like an insanely good price, then maybe I'll review it. Outside of that, probably not. You'll probably end up seeing these, as giveaway items on my live streams, which usually occur Friday evenings at 8:30 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Right now, if you're watching in winter, then it's Central Standard Time. But that'll be it today. Thanks so much for watching. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like. So check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on that Metal Complex logo right there and subscribe because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.